Well, hello and welcome back to the third and final Premier League shirt ranking video for this season. So you've seen it, we've been through the home shirts, we've been through the away shirts, so of course, got to do those third shirts. So, once again, we're going to go from 20th all the way up to first in a league table of what I think as the best and what I think is the worst of these third shirts. So let's just jump into it. Also, new microphone because my old one died, so hopefully this sounds good. If not, I can only apologise, I'm just getting used to it. So we're going to start off in 20th place, and I've got Wolves. Sudu, man, you had such a good run. But what on earth is this? I'll tell you what it is, actually. It's awful. It's a purple and orange number. Already two colours that I can't say look good together, combined with this weird like melange effect across the entire shirt. Not sure what's up with that either. I'm not really a fan of this whole shirt. It's really not a good look. And also, the sponsor is bad, once again. Also, just look at the difference between the authentic and the replica versions. What the fuck is up with that? That is pretty egregious. This is your worst offering, Sudu. Fix up. Although, your first two shirts were pretty decent. Okay, and then moving on to 19th place, I've got Southampton. It's another stinker from the Saints with this pink and white number. Now, on the face of it, you know, pink and white is not a bad colour scheme and it actually looks quite nice together. But if only those were the two colours Southampton used. You know, if they'd just used pink and white, it could be higher on the list. But they decided to include some yellow on this shirt as well. For some reason, the Puma, Southampton, and part of the sponsor are all yellow. Why? The sponsor is terrible. I don't think you need to accommodate it anymore. But to be fair, it is colour matched. So, you know, they've done something good there at least. The dazzle graphic is nice on the collar and the cuffs, but that's a very little plus for this shirt. Overall, it's a very plain shirt, and the yellow logos really throw it off. Honestly, if they were white, but if the whole sponsor was white as well, could have been a banger, but just wasn't the case, and we've got this terrible, terrible shirt. And then in 18th place, I've got Brentford. You know, it's not been the best of years for Brentford's kit designs, as this dark green number rounds off a disappointing set of shirts. It's a largely plain green shirt with some designs on the sleeves. This sleeve design is supposedly inspired by the architecture of the G-Tech Community Stadium. I don't know if it is or not. Maybe. Who knows? The shirt also features a light green secondary colour for all of the logos, the cuffs and sponsor, which doesn't actually look that bad. I'm not a fan of the dark green colour they've gone with though, and I can't help feeling it would have looked better in black. I mean, initially when I saw the shirt, I thought it was in black, so I'm quite disappointed to see it's in green. And also, bad sponsor. And then move on to 17th place, and I've got Ipswich. Ipswich. Oh, Ipswich. What is this? There is a lot going on with this shirt, and while it's taken a lot of good elements that would have looked good on their own, altogether, the design looks very busy and not really something I can rate. The pink colour, also known as Suffolk pink, comes from the colour of numerous cottages found throughout the county, with a silhouette of famous Suffolk landmarks such as Framlingham Castle and Wolseley Gate across the top of the shirt. Are they there? I don't know. That's what the design team is saying. I've never been to Suffolk, so I couldn't tell you, to be honest. It then features 6 wavy lines representing the 60-mile historic Suffolk coastal path, which stretches the coastline all the way from Felixstowe to Lowestoft. And finally, on top of all those design elements, it features a sound wave pattern created from the cheer of the crowd as the players run out. If you say so. The rest of the shirt doesn't look that bad, but there's too much going on here in my opinion. You could look just one or two of those elements and the shirt would have looked a lot better. Or, you know, just gone with something else differently entirely, to be honest. Not a great shirt from Ipswich. Had potential. Pink shirts are few and far between, but this one is not executed well. And then in 16th place, I've got Fulham, and it's Adidas's first entry in this list, and it's Fulham's weakest shirt of the three. It's a mostly purple shirt with a camouflage graphic in a darker purple tone across the front of the shirt. It's multiple shades of purple with a white secondary colour, which isn't a bad colour scheme to be fair, but the monochrome Fulham badge does look a bit goofy for some reason. I'm not really sure what it is, but I just don't really fuck with it. But it looks better than if it was in the regular Fulham colours, I guess, so there is that. The shirt itself isn't bad, but I'm just not a fan of the design. It's very much an Adidas template, and Olympiacos did it better last season, I must say. And then in 15th place, I've got Manchester City. This has to be the worst City shirt in a while, in my opinion. It's a maroon shirt with elements of the crest superimposed in a darker shade of maroon. Now, it's not the first time they've had a brown or maroon shirt, most recently having one back in 17-18, And that shirt was much better than this one. If they just took that design, modernized it a bit, it would have been phenomenal, but instead they created this. I'm not sure what it is. The main design element of the shirt is the ship from their crest, which is supposed to represent the club's past, present, and future. The design honestly just looks slapped together, and it's just something that I'm not really a fan of. Now, using club crest elements in shirt designs is something I think can work well, and has worked well multiple times in the past, but not when you do it like this. What is this? Maroon and gold is a good colour scheme, but could have and should have been executed better in my opinion. I like the little ship on the back though, that's a nice touch. But it doesn't save the shirt. I think Man City are the only team that can get away with gold on a kit until they don't win the Premier League title. Like, can we implement that design thing somewhere? Like, can we make that rule of the Premier League or kit manufacturing in general? Well, let's shake on it. And then in 14th place, I've got Everton. Castore have had a pretty decent first season with Everton, and this third shirt is pretty decent as well. Yes, it's a very plain shirt, but it's a plain shirt that's been done well in my opinion. And there are some very faint pinstripes present on this kit as well, which you can see better in person, which I think, lovely touch. It pays tribute to a baseball game that was played 100 years ago when the Chicago White Sox took on the New York Giants at Goodison Park. I love the colours they've used here, especially on the collars and the cuffs. It really captures those baseball vibes in my opinion, whilst clearly being a football kit, which I think is a brilliant choice. They've smashed it out of the park with this one, to be honest. But again, a terrible sponsor. But not much we can do about that. It looks like all those Twitter posts you're seeing with a fucking steak sponsor on it, man. What's going on? We know what's going on. And then in 13th place, I've got Brighton. Brighton have carried over their away shirt from last season as their third shirt, which they've done multiple times in the past. It was a new version of their 2012-13 away kit, which is quite nice. The kit design features bold black and green stripes with white pinstripe detailing, combined with a black and white badge. The 23-24 Nike template doesn't do the shirt any favours though. It was one of my favourite away shirts last season, and it's still a very solid design. And I rate keeping shirts for 2 years. It is a good idea, and can be commended in times like these. Obviously, you want to get excited every year about new kits. But the current crisis that's going on around the world, keeping shirts for 2 years is commendable, to be honest. So, thumbs up to you, Brighton. You're one of the few teams doing it in the Premier League. And yeah, it's a nice shirt. And then in 12th place, I've got Leicester City. This is Leicester's best effort of the season, but the bar wasn't very high to begin with. Let's be real. It was in hell, if anything. Now, on the face of it, it's just another plain shirt. But taking a closer look, we can see a debossed pattern of a repeating shield crest, the same that was adorned by Leicester's Ice Kings, a squad that went on an impressive run during the 1962-63 season, almost achieving a League and FA Cup double. It's a very subtle design, but I think it looks class, and the secondary dark blue colour really completes what is a very clean and comprehensive shirt. Now, I had no idea of the Ice Kings, but designing a shirt based on that is something I can commend, so well done Leicester. And then in 11th place, I've got Aston Villa. Hold on, is this Villa, or is this Manchester United? Now, this is my favourite of Adidas's new Villa shirts. It does heavily resemble Manchester United's 99-2000 away kit from Umbro. But hey, that's not a bad thing. It's a very clean looking shirt with a navy base that has metallic silver and black detailing hoops. It's the only Villa shirt to feature a recoloured crest, and the shirt is much better for it. Sponsor bad once again. But yeah, very solid shirt from Villa. It looks better with the Acorn sponsor. Because what the fuck is Batano, man? Get out of here. And then in 10th place, I've got Liverpool. You know what? I'm going to say it. I like the upward swoop. Whoa, don't shoot me, guys. I know a lot of people are not a fan of it, but personally, I don't mind it. Liverpool are kicking off the Nike Elite Team kits with a shirt that I've seen divide quite a few opinions online. The main talking point is obviously the change in orientation of the Nike swoosh. It's made up of two colours that represents the unity of the men's and women's football teams, whilst pointing upwards to celebrate the rise in women's football, which is fair enough. The body of the shirt features an abstract geometric design that looks pretty decent. The red, yellow, white cuff and collar colours are very nice, but Nike have opted to use that horrific asymmetrical collar again, which really drags the shirt down. Although, that being said, it looks better on here than it did on that Spurs shirt. But again, that's not saying much. Please return to normal collars immediately, because what on earth is that? You've given them a square collar and this weird asymmetrical collar. Do you just hate Liverpool? Are you mad they're leaving to go to Adidas, so you're just giving them some horrific collars? Because that's what it seems like at the moment. And then move on to Nottingham Forest. This is definitely the weakest of the three for Forest, but it's also given us some of the best performances this season, making us both look and play like Manchester City. On the face of it, it's quite a plain shirt, but if we delve into it a bit deeper, we see these thin and faint wave-like lines, which I really like. It's a lovely light blue shirt, but I feel like there could have been some more colour on this kit, like even just some white accents or something, you know, on those little side panels, on the cuffs, on the collar, on the stripes, just something. But still a very solid shirt, and again, sponsor bad. And then in 8th place, I've got Arsenal. The trefoil is back on Arsenal's third shirt, and it looks lovely. I'm very sad we didn't get a trefoil shirt this season. Please, Adidas, please, I need it. This shirt has a gradient-like design, which utilizes different shades of blue and purple that does somewhat resemble the Northern Lights. I know this is North London, but Northern Lights? Really? The logos, cuff and collar are all in a navy blue, which looks really nice against that light blue base. It's a nice looking shirt, but I just think there are much nicer shirts this season, and it really just goes to show how solid these third shirts have been. The manufacturers and clubs have been really cooking this season. It's a very solid shirt from Arsenal. I love the trefoil. It's very unique as well, as Arsenal have never had a kit that looks like this. I don't think they should, you know, keep being unique, but it's a nice shirt, so I'll give them that. Okay, and then in 7th place, I've got Crystal Palace. Macron have been doing the business this season, and I think it's been no different for Crystal Palace in their third shirt. It's a black base with a faded eagle motif throughout the body of the shirt, as well as featuring predominantly in the red and blue stripes. Very similar to the home shirt actually. I love what Macron have been doing here. It's also a similar design we've seen before on a Palace shirt, most recently coming back to the 1920 season. I'm a big fan of the usage of the eagle throughout this shirt's design, and all of the Macron shirts this season for Palace, they've been really good. It's all tied together with a red and white blue cuff detailing and a white eagle on the back. Lovely, lovely shirt from Macron, but again, terrible, terrible sponsor. Honestly though, Macron have been cooking with this eagle motif throughout the Palace shirts. The away shirt was a bit meh, but definitely the third and the home shirt just look brilliant. Macron have been cooking. And then in 6th place, I've got Bournemouth. Bournemouth and Umbro have absolutely cooked here. It's a very classy looking shirt. It's a turquoise and pale gold colourway that features a rhombus pattern throughout the body of the shirt. The patterns seen throughout the shirt are inspired by the natural textures and elements that can be discovered by exploring Bournemouth's coastline. The second coastline shirt. Let's go. The sleeves of the shirt look quite plain in comparison, which I'm not a fan of, but the design on the body is brilliant, so I'm kind of giving them a pass for this one. It's a monochrome Bournemouth badge in a turquoise and gold colour scheme, which ties it in with the collar and the cuffs. And this shirt is all tied together with the AFCB shell-shaped design that appears on the back of the shirt. Love that little design element. I think it just really elevates the shirt. Big fan of that. And then in 5th place, I've got Chelsea. The upward swoop is back on this lovely looking Chelsea shirt. The shirt celebrates the explosion of fresh creativity and attitude that shook West London, being a major nod to the punk history of West London. The body of the shirt features a pattern that's made up of ripped up, clashing punk patterns and designs, as well as a blues patch inside punk style topography. Alongside the upward swoosh, Chelsea have opted to use their lion emblem as the badge in a striking pink colour, which matches the cuffs and the little Nike tick, which I'm a big fan of. Again though, there is no sponsor on a Chelsea shirt, but that's working in its favour at the moment. You can really see the fullness of the design and really appreciate every little design element in it. Although, this is no sponsor, and if they get a terrible sponsor, it could ruin the shirt. So, I'd watch out Chelsea, you've got a pretty good thing going here, don't ruin it. And then in 4th place, I've got Newcastle United. Newcastle round off their first season at Adidas in some style. It's a very unique shirt for the Magpies that combines the modern elements of Adidas's current Tiro template with the Newcastle badge from the 1980s, which I'm quite the fan of. It's a largely plain shirt, but it's been so well put together by Adidas that honestly works in its favour. The addition of a retro style collar is a lovely touch as well. It's a white shirt with green and black secondary colours that all work so well together and just looks lovely. And it's all tied together with a little magpie on the back of the neck. I absolutely love it. And then in 3rd place, I've got Manchester United, and it's another trefoil, this time for United. It's the second and only other Adidas Elite team in the Premier League for now, and it's another very nice looking shirt. The red off-white and black tricolour flag that unites fans is found across the chest of the shirt with a second smaller flag on the back, which both look brilliant. United have opted to use their Devo logo in place of their usual badge, which I think works really well here. You know, it's got a proper retro feeling to a shirt that doesn't represent for a shirt that doesn't resemble any of their previous kits. Honestly, it looks class. I'm a big fan of it. You know, I'm not a fan of United. I've made that abundantly clear in many a video, but this shirt does look brilliant. And low-key, feeling jealous when you get a trefoil shirt, because this is class. Now, the sponsor is colour match, but it's not great, but there's not really much we can do about that. Overall, very, very, very solid shirt from United here. Top notch. Okay, and then in second place, we've got West Ham United. It's another solid shirt from the Hammers with this very elegant number from Umbro. It's a predominantly white shirt that features an embossed zigzag pattern with the Hammers in the West Ham crest, also found within this design. And that's all combined with a burgundy retro style collar and cuffs with some gold trim. And that same colour scheme of burgundy and gold is found in the West Ham crest and the centenary Umbro logo. It's a really nice looking shirt and the embossed pattern really elevates it. I'm a big fan of the colour scheme used and the overall design of the shirt is just brilliant. Modern Umbro, you've cooked once again, but again, bad sponsor. And it's not even colour matched, like you could really put some effort in, but it's just black and really sticks out like a sore thumb. Get it gone, get it in the bin. Good shirt all in all though. And then in first place, topping the table for the first time in a very long time, is Tottenham Hotspur. Here is your trophy. Put in the trophy cabinet. Nike have absolutely cooked with Spurs and their third shirt. It's a return to the green third shirt, which they've not seen since the iconic 2018-19 shirt, which was also Nike to be fair. This shirt celebrates female creatives in Tottenham, with the shirt's print drawing inspiration from the Seven Sisters elm trees. Initially, I was apprehensive regarding the overall design of the shirt, but it's really grown on me recently. My favourite thing about the shirt, as I'm sure you may be aware, is that badge. Oh my god, that badge. The crest combines the current Tottenham logo with the crest used from 97 to 99, and it just looks phenomenal, especially on the authentic version. Wow. And even the stitched version is pretty solid. It also makes use of that England-Brazil collar. I'm not really sure what you'd call that, but that's just how I refer to it, which has really grown on me as well. And we already know I don't mind that upward swoosh. It's a very, very class shirt from Nike and Spurs, and I think they've cooked here. It's going to be very hard to top this because it is just a beautiful shirt. You have my applause. You probably can't hear it, but I'm clapping. Well done. And yeah, that has been my final review of the Premier League shirts. Round off with the third shirts, as we should. Now, some teams have fourth shirts. Utter work nonsense. I'm not going to look at those whatsoever, but, you know, the Man City one is decent. And yeah, I've been O2GT, and this has been my Premier League third shirt ranking for the 24-25 Premier League season. If you've got any decisions of your own, you know, pop them down below. If you think I've given one shirt too high of a ranking and one shirt too low of a ranking, be sure to let me know as well. Hopefully this mic sounded okay. I'll be doing what I can in post to make it sound lush. Yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.